Welcome. This is Dr. Endel with Buckeye Wellness and Wellness Innovations, and thank you for taking the time to take a look at this video before the screening that you have coming up. I'm going to walk you through a series of the screening steps and outline each one. For the most part, they're very simple, basic screenings. You probably have a great sense of already how to do them, but I'll explain some little details about what we're looking for in each individual test and show you how to grade and score them. Most of the sheets will also give you directions on, looking and grading somebody as they're going through this process. And so thanks again. If you have any questions, our email is going to be at the end of this presentation. Feel free to email us, and we'll either get back with you via email or we'll set up a time to walk through any questions that you have in detail. Thanks. So the next test we're going to be going over is the posture pictures. So for this, what you're going to have the person do is stand up against the wall, probably next to the height measurement tool that you used earlier. So go ahead and stand against the wall for me. And what you're going to do is find the person's hips. So you're going to say, I'm going to reach in, touch your hips, then I want you to bring your hands in right where I put my fingers at. So you reach in firmly, you find the tops of their iliac crest or their hips, and then they put their hands on top of their hips for you. You're going to look straight ahead. I'm going to take a picture of you from the front and then from the side. So you step back, use the camera provided, and you take a wide enough picture that you can get the very top of their head and the bottom of the feet. We need to see the entire length of the body included in the picture. Then you're going to tell them, I'm going to have you turn to your left side. Your arms can come down. We're going to take a picture from this side. Again, they're standing just like this, neutral, how they would normally stand. If they have longer hair, you will ask them to bring their hair behind their ear so that you can see their ear. It's a landmark that we use when we're doing the posture assessment and analysis. Again, you'll step back, you'll take the picture, again, making sure you get the top of the head all the way below the feet, and then as far as that's concerned, you're done. Now, before you do this, what you'll do is you'll take a picture of the scoring sheet so that we get their name so we know whose pictures corresponds with the person. So step one for taking the posture analysis would be taking a picture of the scoring sheet with their name and the date on it. Then you'll move towards putting them against the wall, finding their hips, asking them to put their hands right where their hips are at, taking a picture from the front, having them turn so their right shoulder is facing you, and then a picture from the side. Again, making sure you get the entire length of their body for both pictures. Awesome, we're on the home stretch. The next test that we're going to be looking at is the shoulder mobility test. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to test each arm individually. You're going to have the person make a fist with each hand. Then you're going to tell them to raise their right arm over their head and back to their shoulders as far as they can, and then bring the left arm up to meet it. Okay, then you're going to measure the distance between the two. If it is 1 fist length, that is scored as a 3. If it is within 1.5 fist lengths, that is a 2. If it's 2, as in this one, 2 fist lengths or more, or 1.5 fist lengths or more, then that is graded as a 3. If you have, and this would be for the right shoulder, so whatever arm is up is the shoulder that we are grading. Within 1 fist length is scored as a 3, 1.5 fist lengths is scored as a 2, more than that is a 3. You can relax. If there is any pain at all involved when they are doing the testing, or they are unable to do it due to pain, you score that as a 0. Now on the reverse shoulder, we'll be testing the left shoulder. Bring your arm back as far as you can, the opposite arm up. Again, this is a little close, but we're looking at probably 2 fist lengths here. That would be scored as a 1 in this case. You will also be having this scoring sheet, you can relax, this scoring sheet that outlines exactly what you're looking for as you're doing this. So feel free to use this as a reference guide when you're doing the actual screening. Again, if you have any questions on this, shoot us an email and we'll coordinate and answer any questions that you have. Great, so the next test we're going to be going over is the balance test. This is one of the easier tests, but it does take a little bit of time depending on how good they are at balancing. You'll have the person turn and face you, so turn this way. We're going to measure, again, their feet, their shoes and socks will be off because you measured their weight and body fat earlier. And so you're going to start them off by having them stand with their eyes open on one foot. So keeping your eyes open, stand on whichever foot you feel most comfortable with. Then you're going to time them with the time watch that we give you. If they are able to do it for 30 seconds, then you have them put their foot down. Go ahead and put your foot down. And then you go on with that same foot with their eyes closed. So go ahead, eyes closed. And any swaying, or they put their foot down, all right, you can stop. Looking at scoring for the balance test. If they are unable to do it for any reason, or they have any kind of pain while they're doing it, they would be scored as 0. If, while you're testing them, they cannot stand on the right foot or the left foot, you grade them independently for 30 seconds with their eyes open. That is scored as a 1. If they can balance on one foot with their eyes open, you then go onto that same foot with their eyes closed. If they cannot do that with their eyes closed, that is a score of 2. If they do both eyes open and eyes closed for 30 seconds, then you score them as a 3 on that foot. You score each foot individually using that time references. Again, that is all documented on the actual screening sheet to give you for better reference, but it's pretty simple. Have them stand on one foot with their eyes open, closed as you time them doing it. Any deviation, a lot of swaying, or they touch down with the opposite foot, then you stop the time and move on to the next part of the exam. The final test that we're going to be working on is the functional squat test. And so for that we use this dowel rod and the 2x4, which is on the floor. This is a 2-part test. You're going to be grading them, again, based on a couple of different factors. The biggest thing that we're looking for as they do this is how well they can squat down. So the instructions would be, we're going to be doing a functional squat test. So what you're going to do is raise your arms straight up over your head with this dowel rod, and then keeping your heels flat on the floor. That is extremely important as you are instructing them and what they're doing. The first part of the squat test, they have to keep their heels flat on the floor. So keeping your heels flat on the floor and your feet shoulder width apart, come down into a deep squat as low as you can. Okay, then you are looking for how far forward they lean, what kind of bend they have in their knees. The position she's having right now, I would give this a 3. So what you'll have them do next, stand up for me. The next thing you're going to do is put your heels on the platform. Good. And again, arms straight above your head, come down into a squat as low as you can. Good. So in her case, it was a lot easier for her to come down into a squat with her heels on the board. In that case, it would be scored as a 2. Come on back up. If, you can step on down from there. If they can do a squat without the board very well, that is scored a 3. If they do it really well with the board, standing on the board, that's scored as a 2. If they don't do it well, either with the board or without the board, then that is scored as a 1. If there is any pain at all involved with doing this test, then it's scored as a 0. Again, there is a scoring sheet, a little cheat sheet here that we include with you that gives you those breakdowns of what a 3, a 2, and a 1 is constituting. The biggest change, though, or the biggest factor to look at when you're doing this test is starting out having their heels flat on the floor and having them come down as far as they can as they do the squat. The rest of this will be pretty self-explanatory once you're able to look at this sheet and once you start doing a couple of these exams. Great, so that concludes all of the testing materials and supplies and the process that we are expecting you to go through with somebody. Again, you'll have about 10 minutes to perform each of those tests. I've tried to provide enough information and outline and details on how to perform each of these tests. If you have any questions, right here is my email address. Feel free to shoot me an email. I'll try to respond via email, or we'll set up a time to FaceTime or talk over the phone and talk out any questions that you have about the screening process and any of these individual tests that you have. Again, please let us know if you have any questions. We're here to support you, And thank you so much for your time and participation in this event. Thank you.